Now, the National Police Service has confirmed that 2 Cuban doctors abducted as their bodyguard killed in an ambush in Mandera this morning were on their way to work when the incident happened. 1 police officer was killed during the attack. The police officer attached to guard the doctors and was shot dead by the militants who drove off with the medics, raising fresh security concerns in the region that borders the troubled Somalia. Local authorities say that they believe the abductors are still within the borders with the medics and have launched a search using police and the military. Police say that the suspects were in a pro-box vehicle and blocked the doctors who were being escorted to work in a county government vehicle. Witnesses say that gunshots rent the air in the ambush. Landley Rodriguez is the surgeon and Herrera Correa, a general practitioner who had settled as well at the Mandera Referral Hospital where they had been working for the past year. Security agencies have launched a hunt for the suspects as they race to rescue the victims. Listen to an earlier official brief by police spokesperson.
It's this morning in Mandera. Today morning in Mandera town at around 9 a.m., 2 Cuban doctors were under police escort from their residence to Mandera Hospital in a county hospital vehicle under the escort of 2 police officers, 1 officer from administration police and the other one from Kenya Police Service, respectively. Along the way, they were blocked by 2 pro-box cars. Unfortunately, the administration police officer was shot and fatally wounded. The criminals commandeered the car and the occupants across the border to Somalia. So far, the county government vehicle, which belongs to hospital, has been recovered, and the driver is being held with us for interrogation, for purposes of interrogation. All security agencies of the state have been mobilized to pursue the criminals and rescue the victims.
And we now bring in our reporter Timothy Otieno, who is following this developing story for us. Timothy, thank you for joining us from our City Center studio. Now, Timothy, we've had the police spokesperson Charles Owino confirm that this actually did happen. Is there more information we have regarding this particular incident?
Well, the police spokesperson has also confirmed that they have been questioning the driver of the county vehicle which was ferrying those 2 medics to their workstation at the Mandera General Hospital. Now, Charles Owino did say that the driver is giving them crucial information that would help them in trying to trace these 2 doctors who are said to have crossed into the Somalia border just a few minutes after that attack took place in Banisa, Mandera town. The police also say they did recover the vehicle which was ferrying the 2 doctors, which was a county government vehicle, and one of the police officers did escape that particular attack. And he is also providing crucial information that police are saying they are using to assist in the ongoing investigations. Charles Owino himself did not field any questions from journalists, of course insisting that the matter was still very fresh and they did not want to give off any information without being first sure themselves as to what was happening on the ground before they could perhaps address the country later on in the day. Remember, this could be perhaps the first assignment for the new Inspector General of Police. He has not yet given any official statement, just speaking through Charles Owino, the Inspector General of Police, the IG spokesperson and the Kenya Police Service spokesperson. So Owino himself does say that they are trying the best that they can. Already the Kenya Defence Forces have been deployed and they're trying to trace these 2 doctors who were attacked earlier on in the morning, Michael.
Now, this may look like an isolated case, but it's not something that gets us by. If we just draw back to a little bit of memory when we had the protracted doctors' strike not long ago, one of the concerns that they had raised was that of security. And of course, this is playing out. Maybe just to bring us to speed and remind us where that is coming from.
It's interesting you bring that up, Michael, because the 2016-2017 medical doctors strike that lasted 100 days had a few demands attached to it. And if you remember what the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union was saying at the time, they needed better remuneration. But aside from that, one of the things that they were agitating for was better payment and better working conditions, especially for doctors attached to the counties in northeastern, Mandera being one of them. And they actually did point out Mandera because at the time there had been a series of attacks. If you remember that bus attack where a teacher was killed, there was also another one where thespians were killed at a hotel in that particular county. So the doctors themselves were saying they were concerned for their medical colleagues who are attached to Mandera County and the larger northeastern, if first of all they could get security, if they needed to, the government and the county government in those counties needed to secure doctors and ensure that their work conditions were of concern. Remember, when the Cuban doctor came, this was a deal by the Kenyan government in April last year, and you signed between the government of Kenya and that of Cuba, and in June last year, over 100 doctors. And some concerns were those who would be attached to the North. It was some of the concerns, and the government did promise that all the medical staff would have security with security escorts. That has been the case even up to this morning, where those two, Landi and Herrera, were being escorted to their work by two police officers, one from the administration police and the Kenya Police Service. Unfortunately, this incident has taken place, and it could perhaps change the dynamics of this deal between the Kenyan government and the Cuban government that is costing Kenyan taxpayers $1 billion shilling in of course payment of some of these who have been in 47 counties, Michael.
Right, and Timothy, before letting you go, we've heard from the police spokesperson Charles, this definition of date or at least a development on this particular incident.
Well, because this is an ongoing security situation, Charles Owino did not indulge as to when next the country should expect more information coming from the police service, and understandably so, because this has now somewhat turned into an ongoing rescue operation. Remember, the Kenyan police are only their jurisdiction is within the Kenyan territory. It is now believed that the doctors have crossed over to the Somalian side with their abductors. So that already creates some sort of logistical challenge for the security officers, especially those in Mandera County, and you can be sure they will, of course, be liaising with their counterparts on the other side. Those are the AMISOM troops who have been patrolling, especially the borderline between Kenya and Somalia. And of course, it still remains open. If information will be coming, they will be able to relay that to the public. But as at now, Michael, they're still remaining very cagey with the details of this particular operation.
Thank you very much. Timothy Otieno, our reporter, who is following up on that story, a developing story, where we have Cuban doctors who have been abducted and one security officer who was attached to them in giving them security killed in the process. But from what we've received from the police on through the spokesperson, Charles Owino, basically just confirming that the two doctors have been abducted. They have reason to believe that they could still be within the Kenyan borders. However, that is developing, and of course right here on KTN News we're going to follow it up for you, and as soon as we have more information on that,